Hi, business moguls. We're back again, going through another topic, a very important topic that you all should be all too familiar with because you hear this term all the time, the entrepreneur. Entrepreneur, who is the entrepreneur? So, today we're going to be taking a dive into the entrepreneurship or the entrepreneur as a topic in principles of business. When it comes to defining this very important person, you have to identify some key concepts. So we know this individual owns a business. If you ask anyone who is an entrepreneur, well, an entrepreneur is a business owner. Yes, we know that. But you, as a business student, you need to be able to verbalize that in words. It is not just a business owner per se. This is someone who is able to see a need for a product in the market. They create that product. They are taking a risk of doing so in hopes of making profits. So let me just re-emphasize really quickly what your key terms are. So this is someone that is identifying business opportunities, taking a risk of starting a business in hopes of making profit. So, we had to identify some examples for this one. And I wanted to go with examples that everyone would be familiar with. So, you're seeing these persons on the screen here. Everyone should have an idea of who these individuals are. So, you have Elon Musk with Tesla, his creation that he would have came out with there. You have Apple devices or phone from Steve Jobs. You also have Mark Zuckerberg being the creator of Facebook. And well, of course, we know today you now have Instagram and WhatsApp being under that Facebook app, which was previously a standalone. So that is just to give you some idea of global example of entrepreneurs, persons that would have created something. Now you do have a lot of entrepreneurs existing in your local economy or country, and I want you all to be able to identify those persons. So think about it. Who do you know? Who can you identify in your local economy or country that would have created something or they further innovated or advanced on some product or item that was already existing? So it's important to know your characteristics of an entrepreneur as well. These are some personality traits, and honestly, it's personality traits that individuals that are born entrepreneurs or that wish to be entrepreneurs typically have. This list is not exhausted. You have so many other options that can be identified here. These individuals are creative in the sense that they are able to identify business opportunities, innovative. They further advance on products or items that are in existence. They are flexible. We know that the business environment is forever changing. Being able to adapt to those changes tend to be of utmost importance. We have the fact that these persons are persistent. They take calculated risk and so many other good personality traits that we could simply identify for these individuals. So there are a lot of reasons as to why someone would want to become an entrepreneur. One of those would be financial independence. So you want that increased income, you want that financial independence, and owning a business can do this for you. Increased control. If it's your business, it's your say. You get to identify what are your operating guidelines. You get to identify the kind of staff that you would like to have in place and be able to put in place the goals and objectives of your business. Sometimes persons start businesses off of some skill that they have or some interest, something that they like to do. That is an example of self fulfillment. And then you have self actualization, which is the highest form of self recognition, where you're able to meet all of your needs and you are extremely fulfilled. So getting into some of the functions of the entrepreneur. Functions are simply looking at the things that the entrepreneur is existing to do because we know this business more than just a mere business owner. So you have conceptualizing. You need to identify a good or service that you wish to offer for sale. It needs to be something that persons want to buy. There is some niche market that you could sell this product or item to. Planning. There is a great degree of planning that goes into starting your own business. So many decisions or factors. How much staff do you require? Are you going to start operating your business working with other individuals, or are you going to start alone and further expand? You know you need money to start a business. So entrepreneurs have to access the funds from somewhere. They are responsible for further organizing the different factors of production. Factors which you all should be aware of because I mentioned it before in a previous video. Operating a business. All of that leads into the successful operation of a business. So after you have the business idea, you made the relevant decisions and put plans in place, and you have some goal in which you wish to achieve via that planning, you access your funds, it's time to start operating that business. Only when the business is in existence, the entrepreneur is able to evaluate the performance to see how well the business is doing and also what they could further improve upon. Entrepreneurs have a very important role to play in the economy or country. This is the different ways that they contribute to economic development. So, economic development here is simply looking at the way in which they are able to positively impact the economy and the lives of business. So, they collaborate. They're responsible for collaborating with government, with other businesses. We know that they collaborate with suppliers. They have a lot of collaboration in place. So, they are able to build key relationships with these individuals. Another way that they contribute to economic development is providing goods and services to satisfy citizens. So they identify the need, they produce the good or service to satisfy that need. They create jobs. It is regular individuals that decide to start businesses. When they start businesses and these businesses turn into a larger organization, they are sometimes employing hundreds of persons depending on the size of that organization. Even if it's a small business, they might still be employing 15 persons. These persons now have an income which they are able to provide for their family with. They contribute to nation building. Nation building here, this is for my econ students as well. You all should be able to recall GDP. So when we're looking at GDP, the total amount of goods and services produced, the more businesses you have or the more entrepreneurs you have in the economy means that more goods and services are being produced, which leads to an increase in GDP, which leads to ultimately an increase in economic growth. We have earning foreign exchange. So we know some entrepreneurs, they are not just selling their goods in the local economy only, but they are also selling their good or products to foreign individuals. So they are able to earn much needed valuable foreign exchange. So we have reached the end of the topic. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos because we will be bringing out a whole lot more to be able to make your principles of business and economics journey as smooth as it can be, and to be able to inform you on those crucial and important topic matters. Until next time, do not forget to like, subscribe, check out our other videos as well if you're having difficulties in any of those areas.